Your body is about to go through a transformation that pharmaceutical companies charge thousands of dollars to achieve, and it starts with something sitting in your refrigerator right now. I'm talking about eating 5 whole eggs every single morning for the next 30 days. By the time we're done here, you'll understand exactly why this simple food triggers changes in your blood, your brain, and your metabolism that most people never experience in their entire lifetime. Here's what we're dealing with. 150 eggs over the course of a month. That's a number that makes most doctors uncomfortable. They've been trained to see eggs as a cardiovascular time bomb. But here's what they don't tell you. A massive research study tracking over 500,000 people, published in one of the world's most respected medical journals, revealed something shocking. The people eating eggs daily had fewer heart attacks than those who avoided them completely. We've been lied to about this food for decades. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly what the science says happens inside your body when you commit to this protocol. We're going week by week, system by system. But first, there's something critical you need to understand before you even crack your first egg. The eggs you buy determine whether this experiment works or fails. This isn't about preference, it's about chemistry. Walk into any supermarket and you'll see labels screaming cage-free and free range. These terms are carefully designed to make you feel good about your purchase, but they're essentially meaningless. A cage-free facility can still pack thousands of birds into a dark warehouse. They're technically not in cages, but they're living in filth. Free range only requires that birds have access to the outdoors. That access can be a tiny door they never use. What you actually need is pasture-raised. These chickens roam on grass, eat insects, and live under sunlight. The result? Their eggs contain dramatically higher levels of vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants. You can see the difference when you crack them open. Factory farm eggs have pale yellow yolks. Pasture-raised eggs have deep orange yolks that look like the sun. That color isn't an accident. It's a visual signature of nutrient density. No amount of artificial feed can replicate what real sunshine and natural diet create. Week 1. The hunger disappears. Let's start the clock. Within the first 7 days, something unexpected happens. The constant voice in your head telling you to eat, it goes quiet. That afternoon crash where you're desperately searching for something sweet, it vanishes. This isn't willpower. This is biology. Most people live in a state of hidden starvation. You might be eating 2,000 calories a day, but those calories are empty. Your body is screaming for real nutrition while your stomach stays full of processed garbage. When you eat a bowl of cereal or toast in the morning, your blood sugar shoots up like a rocket. Your pancreas panics and floods your system with insulin to bring it back down. But insulin is aggressive. It crashes your blood sugar too low. Now you're in a state of emergency, and your body releases stress hormones demanding more food. This cycle repeats every few hours. 5 whole eggs change the equation entirely. You're consuming around 350 calories, but these aren't just calories. This is concentrated fuel. You're getting a complete spectrum of B vitamins, B2, B5, B12, plus selenium, iodine, and phosphorus. But the real magic comes from the combination of 30 grams of protein and 25 grams of healthy fat. This specific ratio triggers the release of hormones called satiety signals. One of them is peptide YY. When your brain receives this signal, it interprets it as, we have everything we need. Stop searching for food. Your insulin levels stay stable because eggs have almost no impact on blood sugar. And when insulin stays low, your body can finally access its own fat reserves for energy. You might not see dramatic weight loss on the scale in week 1, but you'll feel it. Your energy becomes steady instead of spiking and crashing. You're no longer riding the blood sugar roller coaster. This is your body remembering what it feels like to run on premium fuel instead of cheap gas. Week 2, your brain wakes up. By the second week, something remarkable happens between your ears. This is where a nutrient most people have never heard of becomes critical. It's called choline. Eggs are the richest natural source of choline available, and the average person is walking around severely deficient. Your brain uses choline to manufacture a chemical messenger called acetylcholine. This is the neurotransmitter responsible for learning, memory, and concentration. It's the software that allows you to absorb information and recall it later. If you've ever stared at your computer screen reading the same sentence 5 times without comprehending it, or walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there, you're experiencing what low acetylcholine feels like. 5 eggs deliver roughly 600 to 700 milligrams of choline every single day. You're essentially upgrading your brain's operating system. People describe it as the fog lifting. Tasks that used to feel overwhelming become manageable. Your ability to stay focused improves noticeably. But there's a second mechanism happening simultaneously. Pasture-raised eggs contain a specific type of omega-3 fat called DHA. Your brain is 60% fat by weight. To function properly, it needs a constant supply of high-quality fatty acids to maintain the structure of your neurons. Think of it like insulation around electrical wires. Without proper insulation, the signals get weak and distorted. The DHA from eggs is far more bioavailable than plant-based omega-3 seconds. Your body can use it immediately. By week 2, you're not just fueling your brain, you're literally rebuilding it. The result? Many people notice reduced anxiety, sharper reflexes, and a more stable mood. And there's one more thing happening in your eyes. Those deep orange yolks contain 2 powerful antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds accumulate in your retina, where they act like internal sunglasses. We're exposed to blue light from screens all day long, which creates oxidative damage in the eye. Lutein and zeaxanthin filter out that damage and protect against long-term degeneration. By day 14, you're thinking clearer and protecting your vision at the same time. Week 3. The protein advantage. Now we need to talk about why the 30 grams of protein you're getting from eggs is fundamentally different from a protein shake. This is where the concept of biological value comes in. Not all protein is equal. When you eat protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids and tries to use those amino acids to build or repair tissue. But depending on the source, a huge percentage gets wasted and burned as fuel instead. We measure this with something called net nitrogen utilization. If you drink a whey protein shake, your body might only convert about 17 to 20% of it into actual muscle or tissue. The rest gets expensive energy. Soy protein performs even worse. But whole eggs, your body can utilize nearly half of every gram. It's the most efficient protein source on Earth. Imagine you're building a house. You can buy cheap lumber that's warped and uneven. You'll have to throw away 80% of it because it doesn't fit. Or you can buy precision-cut lumber where almost every piece is usable. That's the difference between low-quality and high-quality protein. This becomes especially important as we age. After 30, your body begins losing muscle mass every year in a process called sarcopenia. This muscle loss is the primary driver of weakness, falls, and loss of independence in older adults. Maintaining muscle isn't about vanity. It's about survival. Here's where the egg white obsession becomes tragic. When you separate the white from the yolk, you're destroying the biological value. The yolk contains nutrients that help your body actually use the protein in the white. Plus, eating pure protein without fat causes an insulin spike. When you eat the whole egg, the fat buffers that insulin response. You stay in an anabolic state building muscle without triggering fat storage. By week 3, if you've been exercising at all, you'll notice your recovery time is faster. If you've been trying to lose weight, you'll see fat disappearing while your muscle stays intact. This is the holy grail, losing fat while preserving strength. Week 4, the cholesterol truth. This is where your family starts to worry. Someone at dinner is going to tell you that you're eating 1,000 milligrams of cholesterol every day and your arteries are going to explode. This fear is based on outdated science that's been debunked for years, but it still dominates public consciousness. Here's the reality your doctor might not know. Your liver manufactures between 1,000 and 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol every single day. It produces it because cholesterol is essential for life. You can't build cell membranes without it. You can't produce hormones without it. You can't repair damaged tissue without it. Your body is smart. If you eat less cholesterol, your liver detects the shortage and increases production. If you eat more cholesterol, your liver scales back and produces less. The system self-regulates. This is why dietary cholesterol has almost no impact on blood cholesterol for the vast majority of people. The fear of cholesterol comes from a fundamental misunderstanding. When your arteries get inflamed from stress, poor diet, or smoking, your body sends cholesterol to the site to repair the damage. Cholesterol is the patch. not the problem. Blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like blaming the ambulance for the car crash just because it's always at the scene. But here's what matters most. Cholesterol is the precursor molecule for every major hormone in your body. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, all of them are made from cholesterol. If you've been dealing with low energy, poor recovery, brain fog, or decreased libido, it might not be a hormonal problem. It might be a supply problem. You simply don't have enough raw materials to manufacture the hormones you need. With the consistent intake of healthy fats and cholesterol from eggs, your body can finally optimize hormone production. Men frequently report increased strength and drive. Women often see improvements in cycle regulation and mood stability. Now, what about LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol? This is where nuance. LDL particles come in different sizes. Small, dense LDL particles are genuinely dangerous. They can penetrate artery walls and cause problems. But large, fluffy LDL particles are harmless. They're too big to cause damage. Saturated fat and cholesterol from whole food sources like pasture-raised eggs shift your LDL profile toward the large, safe particles. So even if your total LDL number increases slightly, your actual cardiovascular risk decreases. Most doctors still don't understand this distinction. There's one more thing happening that benefits roughly 40% of the population, and most people have no idea. There's a common genetic variant called MTHFR. It affects how your body processes a molecule called homocysteine. If you carry this gene variant, your body struggles to convert homocysteine into something harmless. When homocysteine accumulates in your blood, it inflames your arteries and significantly increases your cardiovascular risk. It's a far better predictor of heart problems than cholesterol ever was. To clear homocysteine, your body needs B vitamins, specifically B9, B12, and choline, in forms it can actually use. Many synthetic supplements contain versions your body can't process properly. Pasture-raised eggs contain naturally occurring, bioavailable forms of these exact nutrients. You're supporting your body's detoxification pathways at the cellular level. While everyone else is buying expensive detox supplements that don't work, you're actually detoxifying your blood just by eating breakfast. You can destroy every benefit we've talked about in 30 seconds if you cook your eggs wrong. The nutrients in the yolk, especially the antioxidants and cholesterol, are sensitive to heat and oxygen. If you blast your eggs on high heat until the yolk turns gray and rubbery, you've oxidized the cholesterol. Oxidized cholesterol is inflammatory and dangerous. You've also destroyed a significant portion of the vitamins. The goal is simple. Keep the yolk soft, or at least creamy. Soft-boiled eggs are ideal. Poached eggs are excellent. Over-easy works perfectly. If you prefer scrambled, don't make them like the dry yellow rubber served at cheap diners. Here's the method. Use low heat. Add a tablespoon of grass-fed butter to your pan. Crack your eggs directly into the butter. Stir gently and continuously. The moment you see soft curds forming and the eggs are still glossy and wet, remove them from the heat immediately. The residual heat will finish cooking them. You want them to look like custard, soft, creamy, and rich. This preserves the fat structure and ensures maximum nutrient absorption. After a full month, your body has undergone a complete recalibration. Your insulin sensitivity has improved. Your hunger signals have normalized. You've flooded your brain with the building blocks for focus and memory. You've given your hormonal system the raw materials it needs to function optimally. You've reduced inflammation and supported detoxification pathways most people don't even know exist. This isn't a diet. This is a return to eating the way your biology was designed to operate. You haven't just consumed food. You've sent signals to your DNA. You've told your cells to build, repair, and thrive. If this breakdown gave you clarity on how food actually works in your body, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Drop a comment and let me know. Are you going soft-boiled or scrambled? I'll see you in the next one.